怎么会这样？这个怎么会是恐怖游戏呢？不想玩了。我相信你是爱情故事哦，我真的相信你哦，你不要骗我好不好？啊，勇士公主。
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
好哦。哦，好多选项啊。
I'm talking about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
可是为什么啊？
Don't linger on the specifics. You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
不是你不告诉我为什么我要杀他，然后就叫我去杀他。
Look, you're already on the path that leads to the cabin. Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey. Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
所以怎么样？杀死公主是推翻君主制的一个过程吗？
Then I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out. Then each and every one of us is doomed.
也不知道你是谁。
So sure, go, talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
哦，可以这样，然后可是好像也就这样。
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
好 ，Go， 去吧。这小屋还真的蛮小的。
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are
没有人会
painted
这
in a
样把刀
fine
子
layer
放在这
of
样，
dust.
很危险。
The only furniture of note
稍微
is a
跟经过也会
plain
划
wooden
到呢，
table.
不 OK。
Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll
如
need
果我
it
真的是要
if
来
you
杀
want to
他，
do
我身
this
上不带
right.
装备哦，真的太好笑了。
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below.
我不太会随便用拿别人的
This
东西。
is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
不是这个，等一下，这个声音，她真的是，好像也不能界定公主是女生哦。
Hypnotizing.
没有，
It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
确定。
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here
发任务的时候
unarmed.
就要先讲好啊。
Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done.
所以我们应该是
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far
右手
wall
被
of the
绑住，
basement.
但左手没有，为什么呢？神秘哦。
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
哇，羽毛球呢？
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
不行，我身上没带武器。
Okay.
他连字体都是粉色的，哇，他眼睛好大啊。是这么快就到这样了吗？知道他叫什么名字有需要吗？
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason.
Hey.
I don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
他声音听起来很怪。
You have all the explanation you need. You should know better than to trust whatever she comes up
我
with.
就想知道啊，所以是为什么？我不想知道你叫什么名字，不用吧？
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen. But, okay, but actually, what has...
我觉得很重要耶。
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think.
好，你不确定了。
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
被困在这里很久，
That's...
然后只有我。
How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
潘多拉星河。
They haven't shared a thing, have they? All they've done is point a finger. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
没有。
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. I don't trust that, and I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
She has a point. We're talking like this for a reason.
你不要吵了，你等一下啦。
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me.
他还可以这么理智跟我讲话，真的蛮奇怪的。
This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about.
可
Do
是
you
你被
really
关
think I
在
can
这里
even
这
end the
么久，
world?
看起来还是
Why would I even want
蛮健
to?
康的。我
We both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here, and it's whoever sent you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less. That seems like a pretty good compromise.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out. So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. It would make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
You have to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
音乐变了，为什么？我先拿笔好了，我怕。
You turn back to the stairs, intent on...
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
Oh.
Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Slip these chains? She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice? I don't think she has to be bluffing, but hurry. You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay. If we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save after all.
哦，还是哦，他故意安排一个英勇的声音陪我吗？因为我会怕。
You slowly creep down the basement stairs.
哦，等下下去，如果他不在下面怎么办？啊！你
Where the
看，
princess sat only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm.
我就说
Its
那个不太
cooling
牢固，
flesh
这个
still
左边
chained to the
都
wall,
已经打开了。
and she is
我看
nowhere
很
to
狠
be
他
seen.
东西从哪里来的？
Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
"他都失去一只手了，我没有什么好从头开始的。怎么办？他的手。
Oh, you coward!
他都没有用手了，你要我怎样？
No,
你
I
看
don't
他生
think
气
we
了。
can.
哦，生气的人很难搞啊，怎么办？
Why don't you come closer?
我不
I
想。
have something to show you.
Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her.
哎呦，怎么办？
Where is she? 关上门是什么选项？怎么会有人想要关门？哦，他跑出去吗？不想调查那个手，我去关门好了。 You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place. Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
Do you want to play a waiting game? I've been down here a long, long time. I'm very good at waiting.
他会不会其实只能就是在那边，然后他就不能过来这样 ？OK OK。
You do your best to
他
patiently
该不会一
wait
直以
her
来
out.
吃的都是 想要来解决他的人嘛，然后所以他就可以有很强的寿命。
But eventually, come on, wake up. We can't fall asleep down here.
那个窗户在颤抖哎。我不要，
You
我不要
wait for as long as you can, pushing yourself to stay awake and stay vigilant. But you can't outwait someone who's been waiting for as long as she remembers. You barely even realize that you've started to drift off. Pain tears you from your sleep. The princess is upon you, ripping into your flesh, unnaturally sharp teeth and claws severing arteries and digging into organs. There's nothing to be done. You're already half gone. It can't just end like this. Right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry. Everything goes dark. And you die.
哎呀，第二章了耶。
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of...
这个我们刚知道啦。
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
有啦。
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. If he doesn't remember what happened, then something else must have trapped us here.
婴儿声音去哪里了？
You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, though the only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up to that cabin and slay the
屠
princess.
杀，他用屠杀这个词真的是好强烈。
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you
那我为
moving.
什么要一直答应我去做这个决定？
Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you
都没有
didn't
跟我
listen
道
to
歉，
me.
我都死了。
We did our best with the information we were given. And yet you still died, didn't you? So, great, congratulations, you've been given another chance to actually do this right.
既然可以重来一次，那代表一定可以重来第二次。
And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We were killed by the princess and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? All the more reason to keep our wits about us, should we even return to the cabin. We could find a safe little hole somewhere instead.
为什么是猎物的声音？那是我内心的声音。我是个猎物。
You have to go to the cabin. If you don't slay the princess, she's going to end the world, which you're always going to be a part of, even if you're cowering in a hole. There's no escaping your responsibility here. Just be quick about it. People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
不太明白。
She is just a princess. Whatever you think happened to you last time, just get it out of your head before you get to the cabin, and you'll be fine. Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special. You're the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are. Oh, I didn't know we were special.
音鸟的声音是我，业务的声音会不会也是我？因为我上一次死掉了，我很特别，因为我可以
Of
做选
course
择
you're
吗？
special. Why else would you be here?
我怎么知道？
Special can mean all sorts of things. Don't let it make you careless. We need clear thoughts and pricked ears.
啊，学妹，等一下会有很多声音吧？
I've told you everything you need to know. Going into more detail would just overcomplicate an otherwise very simple situation and make your job more difficult. If you want us to stand a chance against her, we need to be armed with information. What is she really capable of? How are we supposed to stop her? Not to sound like a broken record, but the less you know about her, the better things will go for all of us. I know it sounds like I'm hiding something, but you're just going to have to take me at my word. You're afraid, aren't you? Just like us.
哎，背景音乐越来越大声了。
Of course I'm afraid. Fear is an extremely normal thing to feel when the fate of the entire world is at stake. But that's not the only thing you're afraid of. You're scared of something worse. Stop projecting your neuroses onto me and just get to the cabin
不知
already.
道他会不会崩溃？
Like I said, if she killed you, it was probably because you didn't listen to me. Don't talk to her, don't trust her, just go in, do your job, and save the world. Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
要不是只有一个没事的选项，我还想要继续跟你聊聊的。我如果转身离开，他会不会生气？啊，还是想去跟公主讲讲话。下次
A
吧，下次再选择
warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature? I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered. She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell.
感觉就像很精神分裂的人在说话呢。
That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously. Maybe.
Maybe. Oh.
The interior of the cabin is ruinous and dilapidated. It feels like no one has lived here for a long time, wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement.
不要 no. 哎，对耶，
That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
这边有两个很新的东西，这个跟这个很亮的这个。
There's definitely a mirror.
大家
There
都
isn't.
看到了。
What a strange thing to lie about. Maybe he doesn't see it. Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done. Very different.
这也很破烂了。
I wonder why. Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess.
这个小屋看起来很冷哦。
So focus up. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin
我的
wall.
手也太
I
丑
hope you know
了
how
吧
ridiculous you look right now. But it was there a second ago.
哦，难怪我的鼠标是这个颜色。因为我从来就不是人，
And now it's gone.
他不让我看我是什么样子。
No steel claw. Do you think we can talk our way out of this? I
他
don't
会
think she
想要杀
wants
我
to
们，好像也
talk.
是蛮有道理，就是以貌取人嘛。你看看我的手，不要许我，还蛮恐怖的耶。我的指甲超尖的，我还需要那个匕首。
I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. It'll still be here if we need it.
不一定，搞不好这进门打不开了。
The door to the basement creaks
这个不一
open,
样的。
revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you can make your way down. The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a
上次
jungle.
是潮湿。
If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a
我比较喜
favor.
欢啊，不要这样。
She growls up
哦，
the
用咆哮的
stairs.
呢，哎呦！
I can smell you.
我该不会是不同公主？哎呦，天哪！
She sounds almost feral, impatient, or maybe eager. You carefully make your way down the stairs. The last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit.
这里好
The
多树
walls
叶
are obscured by an impenetrable darkness, giving the illusion that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness. The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a flash of the princess before she scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain
我的
behind
指甲
her.
都这么尖的，它有尾巴好像也是很可以
Remember,
的。
she's just a princess.
哦，
She is certainly not just a
不是
princess.
那个公主。
You're not helping. It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does. Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified. I'm so much more than you.
A shiver rushes up your spine and pulls you upright. The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now. There's a shift in the humid air, and something enormous, the princess, lunges from the shadows, her maw unhinged and dripping, her
我
eyes
刚来
fierce and full of
跟你
hunger.
讲讲话，你就冲过
She
来
is。too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to overpower. This is her domain. I guess that's it then, isn't it? Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't
哦
it.
可以
You are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface impossible to grip. Your hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you.
You spoke when you needed to act.
The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin. You itch, then sting, then burn as the acid begins its slow work.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed
它
at
有上一
me.
次的记忆
The
呢
world is better off without you in it.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight.
我这
The
指甲这
burning
么
grows
尖，我不能
stronger,
做任何
and you
的
can
动
feel
作。
layers of you being peeled away.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back, and I threw myself against that
你该不会
door.
哦？ 我长这样，然后你吃了我，哎呦。
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, her chains, she's loose.
But even then, it denied me freedom. You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Gravity pulls at you as you're hefted upwards, the distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here? Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something. We don't have steel, but we have tooth and claw. Tear through her before we bar her.
I acted on my will, fledgling, and you acted on yours. The strong triumph, and the weak submit.
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slop from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
The cage is still locked.
I don't think we can talk our way out of this. We are drowning in death. There's no more space for words.
看来他说的对，我总在要行动的时候选择说话，没关系的，我就想知道啊。你让我想让你自由才行哦。
Every creature craves freedom. You will too before you die.
The pulling has turned to bang as the princess desperately throws everything at the cabin door. Your flesh screams as your reddened, spongy body is hit with fresh.
You can't hold me forever. I understand it, and it understands me. Talking is for those who don't know how to listen.
没讲一句，时间越久。
But will can never truly exceed the limits of the flesh. Your vision finds what little air remains in this rancid stew of flesh and slippery organs is finally too foul to breathe, and your lungs mercifully give out before you have to suffer another burning, liquefying moment. Everything goes dark.
荒野。诶，鼠标变了。
We are a path in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge. His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that? That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here? I think this is our third? That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be. Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
The thing that sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped. He tries to stare with wide pupils.
Shut up. The rest of you, talk. What happened? What did you do? Can she hear us if we talk?
I can hear everything, little one. But you don't have to be afraid of me.
怎么有点像白
There's
猫？
no place where you end and I begin. Nothing can.
That's just because she devoured us and we
崩
dissolved
溃的声
away.
音。
We don't even exist as a body anymore.
哦，
We're still here, though. And if we're safe, isn't that
这就是害
better?
怕。
She ate you, and now you're convinced that you're stuck together. What a mess.
对，我还被
He
消化了。
doesn't understand. We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're
不对，
one. This is
I guess that's it then. This is us
哎
now.
干嘛干嘛？
We're the
不
one.
去参加什么节课程，就都听人家乱讲好不好？要许我，你很不适合哎。
How could you say that? Look at us. We're almost everything. And we can be even more than this.
你想要让我留在你身
Don't
边
you
哦？
feel our potential?
No, you're spot on. You exist, and not as some part of a gestalt entity mushed together with bits of you and the princess. You're an individual. You exist as your own self, complete with your own physical body, separate from hers. I'm not so sure about that. We were something like that once, but now?
会被人家影响。
And if thinking about that isn't enough to startle you back to reality, consider this. The princess ate you last time. Stop passively vibing with a literal predator and remember that you're enemies. Remember what she's done to you and how
我只
much
是跟他聊聊
it
天，他就
hurt.
杀了我一次，吃了我一次，对不对？
We can't go back to that. We can't go back to the fear and the hunger and the pain.
Oh,
Not after being
that's
something as
sensitive.
beautiful as this. Doesn't all that conflict feel so far away right now? So petty? We've been posed against each other by something that understands the strength of.
I can feel a thumping, a heartbeat, like a distant terror that keeps getting louder the more we pay attention.
Please, stop. If you let. Don't look at it!
哎，
Please, don't make us remember how I was.
And just like that, you start to
是
fall
一个叛逆
apart.
的人，好不好？大家要我做某件事，我就很不想要去做。
I can remember it now. I didn't like being. I'd forgotten how much it burned. And the air was so hard to breathe. She didn't care. She didn't care at all. As you remember the terror and pain you felt at the hands of the princess,
哎呀，
you start to remember
不要
something
随便
else
讲我的
too.
感受。
You remember that you are a distinct being with a finite form and a mortal body.
嘿嘿，我很伤人喽。
There is a shifting of the space around you, the infinitesimal movement of your molecules rearranging back into the shape. Don't like this. It's better for us to be the woods.
不要当森林啦。
I don't want to go
森林
back.
哎，有时候红红的呢。
No, I devoured you. I won. I put things back the way they were supposed to
这
be.
样子是什么意思呢？
Some divisions, when sown, can never truly be
泪
mended.
水不见得能
A
修复
cavernous
你的
gash
伤。
rips across whatever it was you thought you were.
哎耶，第三路。
A cabin comes into being among the trees.
啊，
It approaches.
把我吞进去。
And it swallows, and then you find yourself, blade in hand, exactly where you need to be. At the center of it all is the princess, a wooden and fleshy heart beat.
I feel empty, don't you?
We're just like her, and she's just like us. I feel safe. She isn't dangerous. Do we have to do this? You have to.
啊，你也闭嘴。 出来，他会杀我哎。
You raise the blade, taking aim.
I'm sorry.
我接受你的道歉。你的确应该跟我道歉。你杀了我的鸡，还吃了我，然后还把我包在那里面。
She's gone. And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
我该不会变成公主了吧？哦。
It is. Does that mean the world ended? It hasn't ended. We're still here. Figures the world would end and leave us with all this nothing. You're right. Let's just stay, feel anxious. Does anyone else feel anxious? I'm begging you, don't do
没有别
this.
的选项了啦。
It's different now. It feels... I don't know. Fine. I don't want to look at us.
大家都不想照镜子。看，镜子还在。哦，OK。继续了。我是怎样？理论上来说，我懂，的确，对的。要去摸了吗？我不就是在摸里面，在摸一下。不会是控制吧？那控制了，你怎么刚才
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
沉默中找到你。
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you. I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
什么意思？他刚苏醒，不可能囚禁。
I am solitary lights in an...
什么意思？
I think that you are like me.
No.
We are ocean.
No.
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing.
怪怪的。
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
空间没有出口，躯壳是知觉的造物，消除记忆。
Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole.
不要。
Then we will be here forever, as we are now, unfinished, dry. I have not lived. I am not afraid to die. If you need time, then I'll wait with
又要
you.
比等待啊！第一次等的时候我就死了，第二次还来不及等。
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone.
我会不会跟他长得一样啊？
I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you.
不要，哇，坏了，游戏坏了，没办法等了，哦，怎么会这样？该不会要重新来吧？No， 不会吧？好啦。我就听他讲了那些有的没的诶，哦哟，
You have returned to me. Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
哎，太好了，我们从原来的地方开始呢，耶。
You ask of things that cannot be done.
哎呀，
To destroy is merely to reshape, to remove.
啊，
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find
看不懂，
everything until we meet again.
你看最后还是
She
自己
asks
选的。
that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
啊，不明白。
You're on a path.
Oh.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
不太明白。哎，哦 ，tab 副控制键的。哦，好。
You make your way up the shore. We're not going to go through. The interior of the cabin is the blade is. The door to the basement creaks.
You are? It's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
第3次了，姐，第3次了。
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes.
Okay. Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she
但
responds.
都第3次了，我们可以认识一下。
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess Princess?
感觉就这样，只是一个形象而已。
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like.
哦，他刚刚的表情是不高兴哦，他也不想当公主吧？
I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully, you're starting to see that she can't be
比
trusted.
较长啊。
Go back upstairs, get the blade. The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do. She knows what she'd do. She's just...
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter.
重要为什么不重要？
It's not like you'd believe me.
我是真的蛮想知道你出去想干嘛的。调查锁链就一定要打开吗？蛮想看一下的啊。
Of course I'm locked up down here. I don't actually know.
You have all the ex... That seems like a pretty good...
I don't think I could bear being...
Leaving her alive is too risky.
哦，他好像刚刚有点生气了。我看一下。哦，你看啊，他刚又生气了啦！哎呦，你很爱生气耶，干嘛啦？啊，就
You can't be serious.
Thank you. Thank you, you...
You're making... No. I think you're doing the right thing. Walk up to the chain. They're large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chain.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
你上次就是这样，no，不要再把手用断了，干嘛啊？你有手哎，你该不会是左撇子吧？
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance.
因为你做过这件事情，你知道可以。
If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
溜的声音他们不见了。
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear someone else here.
那个木屋呀。
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs, This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the
啊，我就没
blade
带啊，你要怎
like
么
you
样？
were
然后
supposed
那个小
to.
薇又是活的，他现在把我关在这里，完了。
Easier for whom?
对呀、
Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Maybe.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
不用，那个手留着。
She barely
靠腰，他用
hesitates
咬
before
的，原来
raising
不
her
是
arm
左
to
手，
her
是用
mouth,
咬的。
her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you.
用
The
咬的
clang
理
of
论上来
bouncing
说
metal.
应该是骨头类，你要怎么？
It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way, or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happened.
啊，只能选这两个。啊，我想一下，试试看呢。
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place.
那个是砍他的手。
You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her
不
arm.
对呀，这个骨头都砍得到的，那个是老骨跟指骨哎。为什么不砍这里？这边你看，这边看起来，差不多啦。你就可以戴着这个漂亮的大手镯。
Her limb falls to the ground, and then she didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal.
你知道为什么有种感觉？等一下我又要死了。
No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the
你
ground.
现在是左手姑娘。
How is she still smiling after everything?
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
那
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high.
我不能认
You
好
can't just
两
let her
个
escape
去
into the world.
霸道哦，你是霸道吗？
I
该
can't
不
just let her
会
escape
是
into the
小黑
world.
屋吧？你干嘛啦？
As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do
对
that.
啊，我何必呢？我为什么要这样？
Watch me.
What are you doing?
啊，只有这个选项，好过分哦！哎，你干嘛？
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
我还因为是用刀的切的，想说还蛮整齐的，这边应该是要咬的关系。
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart.
我最讨厌人家控制我了，好烦啊！
But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect.
你要变身
Stop
吗
it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alone. The blade. Move the... As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess...
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you
我还
and
能
takes
他拿
that.
着我
I'm
的，
sorry. I'll try to be quick.
他要解决我的。
She
你看，
plunges
我
it
就知
into
道
your chest, tearing through flesh and
我
sinew.
不相信
It
你，我也不
is
相信那个旁白。
agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no! I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her
我觉得
sake.
他是真的觉得很抱歉。
For her sake. Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed
控
everyone.
制我 ，OK？你做过这件事情，这个人也做过这件事情。我们
Whatever.
两个其实都
She
是
sinks the blade into your chest again and again.
I'm sorry.
也不给人家痛快。你第一次都不是这样子的。
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her blade work is, does it?
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You can't just end like this. Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened.
至少你拍
Two of
的
you
没有
made your
那么
choice.
哦，第
It's
四个
over.
就是长得恐怖，
Everything goes dark, and you die.
又输了。你看，哎，少女，哦
You're on a path. You're here.
啊，不要跟他讲话。
A warning. Before you go in, she will lie. If only you knew what you did to us, you
是情
villain.
的是，不要，我是个恋爱脑。是情的是
Excuse
太好
me?
笑了
Forget he said anything, but he is a villain. He made our
不要想
beloved
要不要让
brutally
他讲
take
话，
our
就是
life
让
last
他不要
time.
对我们有
He is
警惕。
trying
哎
to
你这
keep
个
us
痴情仔，
apart, but
那
he
个白
won't be
痴
able to withstand the
Oh.
power of our love.
首先不是挚爱 ，OK， 我只是不喜欢人家要我选他规定的选择，不要这样就坠入爱河好不好？真的是哦，他都杀了我几次了，3次，还捅很多次刀哎，真的是很不 OK 耶，我都不拿那个刀了，结果那个刀还是出现，谁害的？
Last time, I think you're sliced to hear the sound of it. I do, but I also sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but don't pay their bickering in.
再看一次镜子 ，OK， 擦干净。
You reach forward, but there was a mirror a second ago, but now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know.
因为我这个
We
门
can't
变得比
gallantly
较那
sweep
个
her off
嘞，
her feet if we have a feather out of place.
不是木屋了呢，是石教嘞。哦，而且那个刀好像没有那么
The door to the basement
亮了，
creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches
哎，很
positioned
温
along
馨
the
哎，好像不
walls.
错哦。
But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying
你
her
要
is
不要
probably
看前
doing her
3
a
次
favor.
那个长怎样？那个第2次才恐怖嘞，都
A
是树。
soft voice carries up the stair.
Hello?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time.
啊，晕船
I
仔
think we're in love.
我好讨厌跟晕船仔讲话。
Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think? We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this
真的
fawning.
真的不至于不至于啊。
Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part. You walk down the
他的
stairs
裙
and
子
lock
变好
eyes
滑
with the
为什
princess.
么？因为他刚赢了一
There's a
次
heavy
嘛
chain around her wrist, binding her to
哦，
the
也
far
是的，这
wall.
边都那么豪华了。OK，
My love, we're here to.
闭嘴吧。
You know she can't hear you,
Oh,
right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she
他
can
们
hear
他听不
my
到他们的声
spirit.
音。
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
什么意思？你知道我会回
Do you hear that? And she called us a hero.
不是，
Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back.
对呀，你看。
That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. And you've died before.
想下
So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but... What? We damned a whole world. Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. And you can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible.
You died, and now we're talking.
然后一中就期，
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? Are you listening to her? That's... The princess's eyes quiver as she waits for your response.
I didn't end the world? I didn't end the world.
She's clearly just saying what she thinks you want. Or she's innocent. How could a beauty like her be?
我没有，就是觉得很抱歉，没有，我很努力的想要就是解决这件事情，可是你一直在捣乱。我不是跟你说嘛，那时候我在争夺那个匕首，你要跑来捣乱。啊。
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
哦，我不想。
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists. And what? No, she's a prisoner. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behavior and...
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the best decision for her.
没错。啊，现在不想选也不行了。我没有觉得很抱歉。
No. You're what? Take over our... I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passion... You wouldn't.
你看又来了。
I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings.
变松很多，变细很多。
That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned.
而且
We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
那你现在就开始想，自己想，自己要做什么还要人家
I
决定。
mean, you sort of did last time, but this is different.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave, and I think...
杀了我，对吧？
The princess closes her eyes in deep
Okay.
reflection.
吃了我，你这次要怎么样？
And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
他的声音真的很那个，很芭比。
I just want to make you happy.
完了，音乐变。
She can't just want to make us happy. It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
乖乖的，干嘛都乖乖的。
Okay, if that's what makes you happy.
哇，这该不会是某个平行时空吧？然后我这样讲，啊，然后让它变成未来那个样子，就是我们前几天。
Is she broken? What's going on is she's lying to you.
want to make you happy.
不过他
This
的
isn't
那个
right.
画
I
风越来
don't
越
know
那
what's
个
going on, but this isn't right.
很可爱的这个画风。
I fail to see the problem here.
I just want to make you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone right now?
从此
Like
过
we're
着
the only
幸福
ones
快乐的
here.
生活。你看，我姐姐又来了。
No, she's
不是
gone.
她不是，
And is that a?
你看镜子。
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, if it do it then. End us all before I die of a
一场战
broken
也是
heart.
蛮勇敢。再看一次镜子啊，怎么样？你肿胀了，有吗？我肿胀了吗？哦，真的好像有哎，里面的人还要那个陈旧系统提醒我。这个长得蛮丑的，为什么呢？啊，又要去找他永远的那个山丘上。
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes. Whenever you are
哎，
ready,
你这是
I
穿着
will
他的
wipe
那
your
个
slate clean once again. Eyes close and perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretch. It feels correct. This is what I need. I'm sorry. Words are difficult for
太
me.
难了，太绕了，我讨
I
厌人
never
家讲话
fully
很绕。
weave what I wish to say. If you do not like the vessels you choose to bring me carry far more meaning than anything word. This one, do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
它是问号哎。哦，不同的他，灵魂碎片，大概有7个吧，我记得。所以我现在是哈利波特。
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring. My joy is in seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers, and every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets. Is a child the same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspective. With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold, but in this moment, all I want is to know myself. Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible.
就我们要出去就对了。
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me. My preference is for you to show me what you would like me to see. I cannot know the ways I wish to grow, for I have yet to feel them. If I am to be an ocean, You have nurtured me into a pond. My waters are shallow and murky, and I yearn for more You will have your rest in due time, and I am sorry for the burdens I place on you. I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
吓一跳耶！啊，又回去了。
You're on a path. You're here to slay. Of course I haven't. Why would I even... I mean, maybe some people do. Like... Unfortunately, you're the only one who can pull this off. Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. Ignore him. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. Her voice, soft.
Hello?
Is hypnotic. Don't let it fool you. Good. You're still listening to reason. It would be you walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She's beautiful. I am begging you to stay.
Hi.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you.
You're making a huge... No. You're doing... You walk up to the chains by... They're large and heavy.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe doubtful.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains?
You try the door. Your shouts and pleas. You're here to slay the... You easier for whom? Fine.
OK。哎，哦，他不让我选哎。
Thank you.
There's no getting through to you right now, is there?
A betrayal of will is still a betrayal. You'll regret thinking...
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth. Somehow you collapse to the floor. Your body unresponsive as your blood. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. It can't just end. As much as I'd prefer for things, everything goes dark. And you're on a path. You're here to slay her. If you... I can assure you that you didn't slay. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him. You know I can hear you, right? Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue. Bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably... A warning. Before you... She will lie. She will cheat. Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done. The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, the blade is your... You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin. No, it'll... The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a... The weak starlight from the cabin windows, but the air smells of dirt and copper. Her voice.
Some something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. Silence, I see. Don't think I've forgotten about you. I recognize...
She must have you confused. She seems friendly enough. You can't. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering your time. Fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against...
And there you are, once again seeming to offer a helping hand while likely...
You made a comment back in the woods about having been here before. Now... Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you?
是的，好几次的。
That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at
好
it.
讨厌哦。
So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where don't talk to her. You're just going to make...
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
我先走啦。看一下。
Oh, of course. They're nothing to me.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little...
你要说什么？
A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to
你
her
有一点点
chest.
晕船仔哦，你注意一下哦，大家都有各自扮演的角色，好吗？
This is why she can't just be a bad...
You came to me with empty hands last time, too. But that didn't mean you hadn't been plotting something nasty all along.
But we didn't plot anything. We just made an informed... I think you're both making perfectly valid points.
The cabin lets prying little beasts like you come as you please. But it insists I stay where I am. If I'm to leave, I'm to leave with you.
Ooh, smart. Let's apologize. Get us...
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a
你真是
gracious
小
little
会手哦，我
monster.
也是，毕竟我是这样会手。她变这样还是比我好看呢，难怪她是公主。
If you're sorry, then let me out of here. Yes, let's.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time. She never breaks eye contact, even as the two of you find yourselves face to face. She's silent for a long moment, as if testing to see what you'll do now that she's within arm's reach.
After you, darling. You're the one it lets come and go. It's best if I follow.
Oh no, we can't have that. If anyone is going to turn their back on anyone else, she's going to turn her back on us. It shouldn't matter who leads and who follows. We're working together here. Well, if it doesn't matter, then she can go first. We may be in this together, but that doesn't mean we have to trust her. Somebody has to go first, and it might as well be us. We're talking a lot about trusting someone who, by her very definition, cannot be trusted. I don't know how many more warnings I have to dole out. But if you help her out of here, you're going to regret it.
And turn my back on you? Do you think me a fool? Your tricks are one of the only things I've known, and I've learned better, but...
Just go first.
That's right, you're the one who's going first.
That's exactly what I'm worried about. You step onto the stairs and begin. You're only saying that because you want us to feel. I do want those things, but I want them for a good reason. I don't need you to trust me for my sake, because I already know. Can we walk backwards up the stairs? I think that's the smarter idea. She can't sneak in and attack. We're facing. No. The stairs are a bunch of overgrown roots. You'll trip and hurt yourself. But the princess is silent as you both continue the climb. Isn't that a relief? We're fine. Nothing happened. You're not even going to wait until you're through that door to proudly claim your victory, are you? Why did you just say that? I think we know why. You feel something dig into your shoulder, sharp and piercing. Together you tumble back down the uneven stairs, your body and hers crashing against the unyielding. The princess lands against the far wall, gasping as she struggles to recover from the impact. You're still in shock, trying to get a hold of yourself. She grins as you... Wait, why won't we be getting up? I'm afraid your back is broken. One unlucky fall is all it takes, really. You know what? I'll say it. That sucks. I don't like having a broken back. We were going to help her. What? It's what I would have done. Have you considered not being like that? Of course not. It's what keeps us... And yet here we are, paralysed and stuck with someone who hates us in the basement.
You must have known this was coming. The arrogance of turning your back to me after everything you've done. Why would I ever trust you? Your hands have spilled my blood. And knowing that, you should never have trusted me either. You should have known I would never walk. By our very natures, only one of us could make it upstairs unscathed. Someone had to make the first move. Better me.
See, this is why I wanted her to go first. I had this whole little scheme planned, where once she passed by the table upstairs, I'd have said, now pick up the blade and stab her in the back. And then you'd say something like, wow, and then you would have done it, and we... It's just one problem. And what's that? She was clearly planning to betray us. Ugh, you're right, aren't you? I thought this whole thing... The princess's body twitches as she tries to get up.
你该不会也骨折断那个腰椎断了吧？你看是右手，左手，右手。
Ho ho ho! So she's...
Something inside me is broken. Isn't that a cruel twist of the...
She eyes you with intensity. Silence falling, but...
Seems I'm not the only one, though.
Wait, are we both just stuck here? Certainly seems that way. What a way to go. Look on the bright side. In all this chaos...
We're going to die together. Isn't that a lovely treat? I wonder how long it'll take. Maybe I'll get to...
Is that really what's going to happen? Hello? Are you still there? I think he's gone.
Something strange is twisting this place out of shape. I wasn't feeling much of anything. But now I feel...
Hey, 可以的，回收。
She's gone. And there's that... But it feels so bad. Look, if he thinks it's bad, I'm with him. Okay. If you say so. Finally! We're going places.
我是不是又变更丑了？我萎缩了，这次变瘦了。这个样子真的很丑了，难怪他有公主也会。
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. All of me is as easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you. It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. How strange of you to ask me that. My perspective, perhaps this will
没
change.
想到。破坏我的躯体，攻击形体，它是形体，我是躯体。
This one is hope marred by bitterness and betrayal. She could see the end of the tunnel, and the door was closed on her. She will make for a righteous heart.
难怪他这么那个气。
Do not mourn her. She is finally on the other side. The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our way. I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with, even if I did. And yet, I am everything that you have known me to. The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. My gift to you is to let you choose your path. And I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
吃掉我都会吓一跳。OK，
You're on a path. Are you serious?
嘿
Yes, but you'll have to.
这什么呢？
Of course I haven't. Why would I even consider? I mean,
哦，没有看过。
good. As long as you remain focused on your. The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The blade is.
啊靠呀！人家当时就不让我那个了。啊，
You take. Her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds
他的
dangerous.
声音不太一样
Don't
了。
let it fool you. Good. You're still listening to reason. You walk down the
哦，
stairs
这是不
and
一样
lock
的。
eyes with the princess. She's so coldly beautiful.
看起来很冷艳。
Focus on the task at hand.
冷艳的英文是 cold and beautiful。哦。
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
You step forward. You're.
Oh? No talking then? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And so, you should just drop it.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too.
"为什么都不让我就是磕看看那个啊？
Then I'm not talking to you. I guess we are.
For the love of or drop the blade. Do something. You stare at the prince. The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
哇，好固执的
You'll have to blink event. The blade tumbles out of your
Thank you. Maybe now we can just...
We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reason.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. Don't jump to any weird conclusions.
You can't. Don't.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. Well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes. She isn't suggesting what I
哦，不
think
要又
she
开
is.
手。
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal
哦，
Highness
真的是有高傲
or
的
Her
人设。
Majesty. Any
Note the lack of detail.
too
Again, she. Don't just tell her that.
来不及，已经讲出来了。
That's cute. Do you believe that? If I'm
Well,
supposed to be
that's okay.
capable of
Go ahead,
ending the
go.
world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
Princess has. She doesn't know. She's been down here. She knows what she'd do.
I don't think I can answer that question. At the end of the day, whatever the two of whoever sent you to slay me claimed that doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think, but you don't really know me, do you?
She's right about one thing.
Like I said, it's all about trust. So do you trust me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about.
Oh,
You know. Oh, you have to. You walk up to the chair, large and heavy.
if you don't have the key,
Doubtful. Whoever.
that would be fine. I can lose an arm.
哦，不要再断手了。
She
很烦
speaks.
欸
If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the base. Is someone else here? You make easier for whom? Easier.
The knife. Pick it.
You won't lie. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the. You cut into her. The blade is sharp. She
Okay.
didn't so much as utter a. Free from her bind. How is she so composed after losing an.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of. As the princess approaches. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't watch me. Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Your body lunges forward to sink the. Stop it. Stop. The blade. Move.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade from your
yes.
rigid hands.
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
And then she slits your throat with an almost. Her face remains. This is the end. I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you're on a path in the woods, and you're here to slay. A warning. She will lie. Yeah. Did you just
That's
say
fine to
wink
say.
out loud? No, I didn't. Wink.
Wink.
Just ignore this clown. The interior of the cabin is less a cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. The only furniture of note is an iron table. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you walk. What are you talking about? You reach forward but there was a mirror and now it's gone. If he doesn't want us to know about it, it must be important. We should keep our eyes peeled. I'm afraid I'm going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous... Are you sure? What if she... I don't know... turns it against us? Which I'm bringing up in a purely hypothetical... Yes. Turns it against you. She's a prisoner here. Okay. Normally, yeah, but not about this. Call it wonderful. You do exactly that. So don't worry about it. No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an old stone staircase. A few sputters. Her voice, hard.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please.
I wonder what visitors she could be referring to. Were we not the first? You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraint? Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there will be something so obviously useless.
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat?
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. You do as she asks and sit on the floor.
Thank you. Now... Yes, your intentions. There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck? Or does she think she'd survive? You're right. Maybe she... Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests. I don't know, but you could always try it on. Maybe it'll fit.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but...
Oh, are we talking about that? I thought we weren't going to give away the game. But sure, nothing happened. You died. I went upstairs. I couldn't leave. I found myself in a new place in chains again. And now you're back.
Is that really all? It's not like we have much of a clue about how things...
You're looking at me like I might be hiding something.
I guess it's possible she really doesn't know anything. Maybe both of us are stuck in this loop without any idea why or how. So you've already... As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's complicated. Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the situation right now, a contingency for you failing. Obviously. And you being here, if you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. That's pathetic. I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky. So don't waste that luck by moving on. Why is it important for us to be ignorant? The more I say, the more your mind will swim into dangerous waters. Even saying that, your success hinges on you having imperfect information. I won't. Just give it a rest. This isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be daydreaming. Let me borrow that knife. Don't worry, you'll get it back.
But she seems confident. Oh please, she's just putting on an act to disarm you. That much should be obvious. Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has... So, I don't know. I'm just spelling... Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If your hat doesn't sound great, there are none. The pros are that we can't trust him, possibly even more than we can't trust her. Whatever she... I wouldn't do that if I were you.
想不到吗？
And why do I even need to explain myself? It's a shackle and it's one without a key. Do you
上次
want
我
to be
们
stuck
写
in
完
like
这里
she
的时
is?
候，就成功回收它了。
And what? Is it going to lock the second we put our wrist into it? I don't know. He doesn't want us to look at it. But what if he's telling the truth? He isn't. I am. Against your better judgment, you approach the chain dangling from the far wall. I don't want to say what I'm supposed to say next. What is that supposed to mean? It sounds bad. Yes, it's bad. Come out and say it then. You're just wasting
这音
time.
乐停的，好恐怖哦。
Fine. As you hoist the shackle, its heft shifts within your grasp,
啊，这
as
脖
if
子竟
pulled
然
by
不是
some
手，
odd
不公平。
magnetism.
他之前都只被
Before you
扣
can so
右
much as
手
blink,
欸
it
为什么
practically
是我就
leaps
是
from your
脖子
hand, as if your situation weren't bad enough. Excuse me? Yes? Are we stuck here now?
啊，
Yes.
不是呢，我觉得这位姐姐你就是腿伸过去一点，感觉是拿得到的。
Huh, so it does fit. And I guess it doesn't like your knife. We're stuck here together, aren't we? That's funny.
What are we supposed to do now?
而且我的超短的，搞不好不能坐下来。
Can't even cut ourselves out. That's horrible. It's not all bad. We learned a valuable piece of information. Not to touch things we're specifically told not to touch? No, that there's something special about this loose chain. It's clearly important.
Yep.
You and the princess wait in silence, though neither... This is so boring. There must be something we can do. But there isn't. Time, it passes and passes. At least the world is... It isn't. You're stuck. Too far... But she's not ending anything. Her very existence is... How exactly does that... It just does. But your line of questioning is interrupted, and let me guess. The cabin... If time is passing, the cabin can't be the same. Even if the differences are small, they have to exist. That's just how things work. I suppose you're correct. Things are changing. The differences are small at first. A bit of weathering here, a bit of erosion there.
哦，真的耶
But then they...
I don't like small talk.
我就只有2个人在这里而已，也不聊天，
That's rude.
真的。
You continue to wait in silence, and the cabin continues to change. The decay comes faster now. You can see earth through holes in the stonework, and watch lichen spread along the seams of the walls. That doesn't make sense. Has our entire concept of time changed? What happened to starving? She hasn't starved. I guess she hasn't. Even more silent time passes as you watch roots push until suddenly there are no walls. And I think he's gone.
Would you look at that? We made it out of the cabin, and nothing bad had to happen to either of us. So this is the outside world. It's cold.
这个不爱聊天的姐姐呢？
She's gone. And there's that. But it feels so bad. You're right. Okay. Feels too good to be true.
番茄。哦，因为因为那个嘛，就在那边的时间太久了。
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious.
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. It's nice to be with someone whose thoughts I can never know is mine. No.
揭示自我。
This one is determined, but also cautious. One that would rather let the world move around her than move it herself. Do not mourn her. She is exactly where she needs to be. The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here.
You're on a path in the woods. You're here to slay her. That's the spirit.
Huh?
You make your way. We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him. He doesn't.
就是只有空秒上。
The interior.
哦，又要拿这个保命，但是也没有镜子耶。
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten.
You walk down the stairs and look. She's so coldly beautiful. Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something? Then why did you bring a knife with you?
She makes a compare. Don't you dare. It's fine.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just... So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship. I know.
That laugh. I think I'm in love.
干嘛？喂，不可能这一次晕船的要出
Stop
来吧？
it.
I have no idea. To be honest, I was kind of hoping you might be able to shed some light on the whole situation.
You can't. Don't.
I'm guessing, well, we can...
She isn't. She is. She hesitates before.
You?
Note the lack of.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking. Oh, have you just...
You know. Oh, you have to. You walk up to the. They're large and heavy.
If you don't have the key,
Doubtful.
I'll be here.
You attempt to make your way out. Is someone else here? You try the door. You're here to slay. You make your way back. Easier.
I heard the door, the knife.
You won't like. Against your better judge, you cut. The blade is. How is.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't. As the prince. Wait, what? Stop that.
I thought this was a little...
Your body lunges.
你看，现在这样这么简单就没有办法了。
Thank you. You swing your arm towards her throat, but she's ready for it. She grabs your arm. You drop the blade. Pathetically, she lets go, and faster than you can react, rears back. There's a ringing in your ears. You're fairly certain you can feel bone grinding against bone. You fall to your knees. You're barely able to bring your tremor. Every blow is as punishing as the first.
You poor thing.
She places a confident heel on your... Her knee falls to your throat. It can't just end. I'm sorry. Everything goes dark. You're here to slay her. A warning. She will lie. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything. Can we I'm not being a pessimist. You're being just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her. So please if that's what you want. The interior of the cabin is large.
哇，这次也太那个了吧？也太高了吧？
The blade is your... Why do we feel so? We don't feel... That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway. And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't... For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad. Probably. Do you? He knows. He just...
哦，再看这。
Please don't. I'd rather the prince... I care less about what we look like and more about whether we're being lied to. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is... You walk up to the wall. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand again. We should count ourselves lucky. So, no blade this time. Yeah. Blade. No blade. It doesn't matter.
这个是很厚的。
The door to the basement creaks open. Huh. This is still a stone basement. Her booming voice.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on.
You weren't kidding when you said you shouldn't have come down here. We need to get down there. She wants it. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort. Every step the princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all
The little bird has returned to me. Look, I see your hands are empty. You've already given up, haven't you? You aren't, and more than a little disappointing.
She's disappointed in us?
Kneel.
哎呦，no.
But the words don't leave your mouth.
That's my good little bird. The last time we met, you tried to kill me. And yet here... What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death? Speak!
The last time we met, nobody should have met her before then you shouldn't have trusted us.
交给我处理。
He's being melodramatic, but yeah, we've been here before, and that's worrying. Whatever. You weak-willed
Is that so?
The princess closes her eyes.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. It's time for me to seize my destiny.
She's inevitable. There's nothing else for us.
Know the limits of your privilege, little. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest. All you have to do?
Don't be rude. Of course, it's not rude to question that's exactly why it's rude.
I can, easily. But that isn't what the story of a terrible and bountiful God unbounded of her own will is no story. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in the song of you being so struck by my glory, and from your act of utter